What's up, guys? So the other day I got a comment from one of our subscribers, Paulie D, and he was asking about some good sources of protein, good foods that are good protein sources. So I figured I'd go over that real quick. So let's start off. Everybody knows there are the three major food macros, right? Macronutrients. It's going to be protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Now, out of those three, there's one of them that we don't need at all. We don't need to eat to be healthy, and that's carbohydrates. You could never eat another carbohydrate from this day on, and you could live a perfectly healthy life. Now, that's contrary to what the food companies will have you believe, but trust me, it's true. We don't need carbohydrates whatsoever. The other two, protein and fats, we absolutely do need. So you've heard the term essential amino acids. That's protein. Protein is made up of amino acids, and there are 21 altogether. And out of that 21, 9 of them are essential, meaning that our bodies can't make them. So we have to ingest them. We have to get them from food, right? And then the other one that we do need is fats. And you've probably heard the term essential fatty acids. That would be like omega-3s, omega-6s. Our body needs them really to function properly. So we absolutely need protein and fat. We do not need carbohydrates whatsoever. So when it comes to protein, ideally we want to look for foods that have some combination of those 21. They have what they call a complete amino acid profile. So the protein would have all 21 of those amino acids included in the food. And generally speaking, that's going to be animal-based protein, animal-based foods that have that complete amino acid profile. And specifically, we're looking for foods that are going to have a high amount. One of the essential amino acids is called leucine, all right, and that's a real important one. So we're looking for foods that are high in leucine and that are easily digested by the body. And the first one on the list, which is probably one of the, if not the best source of protein that we can get for digestibility and the amount of leucine, we're actually going to talk about it at the end of the video because I have a couple of reservations about it, so we'll get into that at the end. So number 2, if not number 1A, is really a superfood, and that's eggs. Okay, eggs are one of the best sources of protein you could get, and you want to remember, whenever you have eggs, you want to go for the whole egg rather than the egg white, okay, because you'll synthesize the protein much better when you eat the yolk with the egg, okay? So don't think that you're doing anything healthy for your body just by eating egg whites, because you're really not. And the truth of the matter is, when you eat egg whites, your body doesn't use it, all of that protein isn't, the bioavailability is really low, so you're kind of wasting most of the protein. So you want to have the whole egg. That's one of the best sources, if not the best source of protein that there is. And then after that, it's going to be meats like beef, fowl, chicken and turkey, yogurt, plain yogurt. I'm not talking about these little Dannon cups of yogurt that have some of them have as much sugar as like a can of soda. All right, so stay away from that. You're looking to do plain yogurt. All right, and then along with that, in the dairy family, the next one is going to be cottage cheese. That's a great source of protein. All right. So after that, we're looking at fish, and fish are a combination. You're going to get with a fatty fish. You're going to get a combination of protein and good fats, good omega-3 fats, which your body needs, which are really healthy. Now, when we talk about fish, I have some reservations about that too. A lot of fish today that we eat are farmed, and a lot of that, if you see the practices, you see how they raise these fish, it's pretty disgusting. So I eat a lot of sardines. Reason being, sardines are a much smaller fish. They're not farmed, and the mercury content, because they're a smaller fish and they have a shorter lifespan, they're going to have a way lower mercury content, and it's just a healthier fish, mainly for the fact that they're not farmed. So along with sardines, you also have smaller fish, sardines, anchovies, mackerel, and things like that. Those are probably your best bets for fish. Tuna is not, actually they're starting to farm it, but you want to get wild caught tuna. And the thing with tuna is you don't, it's okay to have once in a while, but a steady diet of a tuna is going to have a high content of mercury because it's a larger fish with a much greater lifespan. So it swims around longer, it's going to collect more mercury. So it is a good source of protein, but I would kind of use that sparingly. And then the other one is going to be salmon. Salmon is farmed, so it's I guess it can get pretty expensive. And the other thing with salmon is when you cook it, you have to cook it really the right way, or it's kind of shitty. But it is a great source of protein and omega-3s, wild caught salmon. So that's really it. As far as the animal-based proteins, you have the eggs, like I said, beef, chicken, turkey, plain yogurt, cottage cheese, and then the smaller fish, the smaller type fish. If you buy supermarket fish, a lot of it's going to be farm raised in China, Vietnam. I believe Thailand is a big one for farming fish. But I'm really leery about eating that. I personally, I don't eat it. I won't eat it. I go with the canned fish. I love sardines. I eat a lot of them. And like I said, anchovies, herring, and mackerel are other ones that you could go for. Now we're on to plant-based proteins. Now the thing with plant-based proteins is that most of them, you're not going to find that complete amino acid profile, meaning the only way to get it is if you combine different types of plants. All right, so you talk about like beans, lentils, quinoa, peas, rice. They all contain protein, but not a full amino acid profile. So if you mix and match them, then you can get the full amino acid profile from them. Other big ones that people eat, plant-based, like I guess vegans and things like that, they eat tofu and tempeh, which are soy proteins, and they're real popular, with vegan and people that I guess that don't eat meat. So again, with the plant-based proteins, you're not getting the complete amino acid profile. You have to mix and match them. There is the benefit of the micronutrients that are in the plants, and fiber content, which is good for the body and things like that. So, it's your choice. I like to eat meat. I'm not vegan. I don't have anything against it. I know, I watch a lot of the like the guys in New York, the calisthenics guys in New York. They claim to be vegan, and they seem to be doing well with it. So more power to them. It just doesn't appeal to me. So everybody does. You do your own thing, but that's the deal with the plant-based proteins. So getting back to the number one, really it is the number one as far as digestibility and leucine content. The number one source of protein is going to be whey protein. Now, the thing with whey protein is that if you're going to do whey protein, you want to go for a whey protein isolate. It's a much cleaner, more, if you see on the can and it says whey protein concentrate or worse, whey protein blend, you kind of want to stay away from that. And the thing is that most of these store-bought protein powders that you get are loaded with fillers, flavors, sweeteners, if not sugar, maltodextrin, and things like that. So you're getting a great source of protein in the whey protein, but they add so much junk to that protein. It's just, it's not good. It's you're losing the health benefits. So if you're going to opt to use the whey protein, go right ahead, but I would suggest that you look for the cleanest protein you could find is the Whey Isolate, and you want to get something that doesn't have all of the additives. If you get a whey protein powder and it says a serving size is 2 or 3 scoops. If you need 2 or 3 scoops to get 20 to 25 grams of protein, you're getting so much filler in that. It's ridiculous, and you really want to stay away from it. And the other thing too is, I did another video, we talked a little bit about type 2 diabetes. Whey protein is very what they call insulinogenic, meaning that it spikes the hell out of your insulin when you take it. Now, if you're otherwise healthy and you don't have diabetes, or you don't have blood sugar issues and things like that, then by all means use whey protein. You can use it as a supplement. Obviously, it's not going to be your sole source, your main source, the only source that you use to get protein in your diet. But to supplement your diet, if you can't get enough food in during the day and you want to take a supplement and you want to use the whey protein, then go right ahead. But you want the cleanest one that you could find. Ideally, it's going to be whey protein isolate. So just to recap, as far as the animal-based protein sources, the best ones there are going to be whey protein isolate, eggs, beef, chicken, turkey, plain yogurt, cottage cheese, and fish. Preferably smaller fish that aren't farmed. You're looking at sardines, anchovies, mackerel, and herring, and things like that. And then the plant-based proteins, the soy proteins are going to be tempeh, tofu, and then other plant-based proteins are going to be beans and lentils, quinoa, peas and rice. And there is protein in vegetables, say like broccoli and spinach, but you'd have to eat massive amounts of that to get any appreciable amount of protein out of it. Again, when you talk about the plant-based, the amount of protein isn't there, but there are, you have the fiber and the other micronutrients which are healthy for the body, and it's all a matter of preference. So that's really about it with the protein. If you guys have any other questions, just drop me a comment below or hit me up on Instagram. Either way, any suggestions for future videos would be really appreciated. Just let me know and I'd be happy to do it. All right, thanks, and I'll talk to you in the next video.